Hey everybody, this is Melina from scrapbookingwithme.com and Me Crafty Scrapper here on YouTube and Instagram and over on Facebook at Me Crafty Scrapper Creates. Today is another episode of M Scrapbusters, and we're going to be making some cluster tucks. Now, tucks on a page can be any size. You just really have to go by what size your journal is. I had made this one and I thought, that's more of a collaged tuck and not a cluster tuck. So we might be making collaged and clustered tucks today because this is the first one, little prototype that I had made. I rounded all corners except this one. I just wanted it to line up with my page. And then what we would do to get this added into the journal is just glue here and on the bottom, and then you've got plenty of space to tuck something in. Now this is 3x4 size, so this project would work really well with your project life cards if you have those, or you can just cut down cardstock to 3x4. But like I said, they can be any size. This is almost 5 inches by 2 inches. It was just a piece left in my pile of stuffs, and I decided I would use it in this challenge. And first off, what I'm going to do is cover my base. So I'm going to have to collage to cover my base. So I'm starting, like that, just making a row, and then we'll do a cluster in the middle of it of something. I might get out some lace in a minute. We're just going to see what works. And on this one, I think I want to do just some torn layers all the way down, and then we'll cover up in the middle. That sounds pretty good, right? Huh? Don't it? Turn it that way. Have almost like a, a very neutral background that's torn. I like that so far. Let's just keep on finding. So how have y'all been as far as, I know that we've got some viewers that are in colder climates than I, and you've had to deal with snow already. That's crazy. It's pretty cold here in Alabama, and like I said in one of my last videos, I know that Alabama cold and Wisconsin cold are two different things, but I mean 40 degrees as the high in Alabama, that's like pretty unheard of until we get to January and February. Most Christmases I can wear a t-shirt and shorts if I want to our Christmas get-togethers. That's how warm it usually is here in November and December. So for us to have this much of a cold just come through this early is kind of weird for Alabama. So that's just something I thought I would share with y'all. I'm going to go ahead and start laying down. I'm not inking these just because it's scraps, and I will ink over and dirty up once I start getting everything put on there. I don't have to ink every little thing that I put on, and all edges do not have to be inked of the entire layer of tuck, So I'm just going to be a crazy woman and not ink all of my edges. What about that? So this one, this is not something that you have to do. I'm just doing some torn layering on this one that I absolutely love. I love that look of all the layers, and they're all torn. And then we'll trim off. Remember, collage and cluster making looks pretty messy and just like a hot mess until you get it all on there, and then trim off your edges, you know. I might have to put me a little something something right there. No, I think I can get it covered. Okay, we're good. So let's, and look at all the scraps that you use on this. That's crazy. Use up all them scraps. Okay, I'm gonna flip over and I'm gonna get excess glue off of my mat. And since that's all layered up, I'm gonna let that dry for a minute. Let's start on another one. I found these and I love them as is, so I might be using those in a journal just like they are as tucks, just ink around them. That was from an old Project Life set of some kind. Now these over here are 3x4s, and you know that's not something I'm really ever going to use, so I'm going to cover it up and do something else with it. I know some people look at this and go, you've already done something similar to that in an M Scrapbusters. You know, there's just so much stuff you can do with scraps, and sometimes I just need an easy something to do, just like y'all do. I get burnt out too. I mean, I was sitting in there helping with housework, and I say help with housework because Aaron Jonas at our house is the housework king, and he usually tells me I'm doing something wrong. Which is totally fine with me. That's pretty much how I've raised him. But he just absolutely loves doing housework and doing it his way. And so we just let him have it. Do whatever you think you need to do, son. I am totally good with that. I'm going to use that piece. So I was sitting there in my chair, and I was thinking, you know what? They won't even miss me if I don't make an M Scrapbusters today. But then I thought about the ones that have told me in the past. I wait for that notification to come over when I'm watching YouTube, my YouTube notifications. I wait for that notification to come over, and whenever you or your mom post a video, I am over here just fast. And that just makes me smile. And then that, you know, reiterates that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm helping people out, even if it is just with paper crafting, y'all. You know, sometimes people need a break from the heaviness of life. And I know that I sure do a lot of time. And so I'm glad that I'm able to help with that sometimes. And it just keeps me motivated to go, yeah, let's go ahead and do that M Scrapbusters today. They like that. So, Melina, you just keep on doing it. Keep on going on. You can rest while you're editing, and then making supper, and then making sure that the laundry is done. And that's one thing. We have taught Aaron how to use the washer. The clothes washer is what I'm talking about. We've taught him how to use that, but he gets very, very happy with the bleach. And bless him, he has ruined quite a few new things. And so we just tell him, you know, if you need he knows how to load it, and he'll load it for us, and then he'll say, you know, Bethany, Mama, Daddy, I need y'all to start the washing machine. And we are more than happy to do that for him. Because we know when we start it that we're not going to have ruined clothes with bleach spots all over it. I don't know, I really don't know what he was doing with the bleach, if he was splashing it or what it was, but we've got many a shirt that has just had to been made into pajama clothes. That were brand new. That was the sad thing. They were brand new pieces, and somehow he got bleach on them, even though we don't use bleach on our colored clothes that we wear outside of the house. I have y'all really pulled in on this video because these are small, and I keep forgetting, keep watching and making sure you're in frame. So there is that one, since I have trimmed off the edges. Ain't that cute? I love that layered look. I just love the torn layered look. And once we get a collage of some kind put in the middle of that, and it can even hang over if we want it to. Once we get that done, look at that, how pretty that would be. And then you're going to glue here, and then you're going to glue here, and you'll have that tuck space there. So see, you can make your tucks as fat as you want, as skinny as you want, as long as it's got a little bit of girth there to hold in whatever you're wanting to put behind it. And usually when you're using a tuck in a journal, it's something to hold either a couple of pieces of ephemera or some coffee dyed paper for extra journaling space or something like that. Usually when we put tucks in journals, we're not hoping that it's going to hold a whole nother mini journal or something. I use my pockets, my full pockets, for that. Tucks are just for, in my opinion, for little stuff that you want to add to your journals. All right, there's that one. Okay, so this is just we're covering up the base part. This is not the collaged part of our challenge. So if you've got a really pretty base, whatever you're gonna use as your tuck, if it's really pretty and you don't have to do anything to it, then you can just start collaging or clustering on top of. You don't even have to do all this. But see, I'm using some of my bigger scraps that are ugly that I'm never going to use anywhere else. And then I'm having to do a two-step process. I'm collaging it first, covering up all that ugly yuck, and then I'm going to cluster on top of that. This one, I want to round this corner, and I'm going to go ahead and round this other top corner, and then I'm going to leave the bottom as is. And this way it gives me an option. See, there I am again. See, I've got you pulled in so close. I've got to make sure you're in frame. This way, if I want to put it on this side, I can, or if I want to put it on the other side of the page, I can. Either way. And I can come back and round that corner if I want to, if that's one of the pages that I want it to go on. Now we need to cluster these. I'm leaving this one as is. I love how it turned out. This was just like a little prototype that I started just to see how it was going to turn out. I started with some drawing paper and then collaged a lot, and then added this little bit of cluster here. This is a little sticker from one of the Bible sticker kits from Coco Daisy. It says, "It is well with my soul." So this little part was a cluster of sorts that I added on top of my collage. And then this is little splatters, but I just got the stem of the ink out like this and intentionally dropped where I wanted it to go. I didn't just wildly splatter like I usually do. And I like the look of that, and all that is oxide ink too, so I added a little bit of water to those spots but left those to dry like they are. And then I added some doodles just with a black pen, one of those Sharpie S-Gels that I have reviewed for y'all, and just did a little bit of doodling, and that added so much to that tuck. I love that. We could also just round this corner and make it a journaling spot. Got plenty of journaling space on the back, and just add it to a tuck. All kinds of things that you can do to these pieces. And I name my projects for Scrapbusters. I name them all kinds of stuff. But just because I name them that doesn't mean that that's the only thing that you can do with them, you know? The things that we make and do can be used for all sorts of stuff. Now this is cute. I like that right down the middle there, and I'll ink around that, and then adding some type of little something else to it too, and maybe a word phrase or something. I love that. I love how that looks. And then maybe a cluster of these two things in the middle of this one. Ink those and have some type of die cut or something on top of that. I really like that. I like how that looks. Let's hold these off for something else. And we're going to ink around all of the edges of this too. Let's go ahead and ink this piece. I might put a little piece of lace or something back behind this, and then a die cut on top of it. I like that idea. Let's look here at what I got. Look at that little bitty piece of lace that just kind of popped out of the drawer when I reached over there. Oh yeah, I like that. Okay, and then something else on there, and maybe a little word. Let's see if I've got something that would go with that off of this same sheet that I got that piece from. I think all of those are a little... Ooh, I like Beyond Blessed. I like that. That'll go on there. Okay, so let's get a little die cut of some sort. I pulled out these old die cuts that I have had forever and a day that I wanted to try to use up. They are so old, and they are very retired, so anybody that wants to know, I had no clue. They're all, ooh, I like that. So if I did that, that's already got Hello Dear, D-E-E-R on it. I like that. It's already got wording on it, so I wouldn't have to use anything from over there. I think I'm going to use that one because it's just too pretty. Ooh, they've got some acetate sheets in this one too. Look how pretty that one is. Can't really see it good, can you? It's like wheat. Very pretty. Let's see if we can find one other little something, because I am digging that right there. Oh, I love it. Let's try for one more little ditty. Ooh, look at that key. Let's just grab all this out and have something else to clean up. Yeah. Look at that key. So this one's going to be a little goldy one. I like it. Okay, and there, and maybe add the key. I'm liking that. Let's go ahead and ink. I'm using Gathered Twigs. If I didn't say that, I don't think I did. Gathered Twigs as my distress ink. And I'm not going to do too much inking on that because it's glossy. I'm going to use my Fabrifix to put that, just go ahead and put that lace down. And see, I don't really even need to ink any of this, but I am just around the edges right there that I can get to, and then I'll get all of the edges in just a minute. Oh, I'm really loving this one. So Fabrifix, that is all at the bottom of the bottle. There we go. And just put that on pretty much middle, but over to the side so I can have enough room for this piece. And this was just cut off some cardstock that I had. It's not even a die cut piece, you know, all on its own. That's pretty neat. And then my little oh dear piece. Nice little winter theme maybe. Oh, that's pretty. I really like that. And I need to put a little bit of Fabrifix back here because it's wanting to come up off of that piece of lace. There we go. And then see if we still like that little piece of key right there. I like it. Let's just slop it on there. I'm just going to go ahead and go with my Fabrifix and put that on. And then we're going to ink edges and do a few little doodles too. I think I've got a brown, yep, I got a brown Le Pen that I'm going to use for my doodles on this one instead of black. And let's ink all of our edges. Do some little plus signs, doodles. The secret to doodling is not to put them in a row and not to put them right beside each other when you're doing it. Just kind of willy-nilly. There's another little doodle there, and then do some little circles here. Yeah, I like that one. Pretty. Okay, let's do this one, and let's see if there is a piece in here from what I pulled out of that die cut pack that I love for this one. Oh, I kind of like that. We can dirty it up some. And then, oh, look at this bird. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, let's work with that. And I'm going to try to get all of this put up. Oh, we're going to have to use this deer on another one. Our next, and just the perfect way you are. Oh, that's pretty. Another little piece of acetate, but here, let me get to that deer I was talking about. Look how pretty he is. Alright, let's get these put away. And get the rest of these tucks done. Alright, I love the blue at the top. It's kind of sky looking. And let's ink these two little pieces. And then figure out how we want to use those two little pieces. And if we want to put a word label on there too. Okay, so if I do it kind of like that, and if I have this, maybe just 4 of them. So let's cut off and do 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that, maybe over the top, you think? Yep. And then have the little birdie bird down here. I like that. And let's get a little piece of trim of some kind. Maybe. I need a little pop of color, don't I? Maybe if I can get just a little bit of pink or red or something. Ooh, I'm going to use this baker's twine and just wind it up in a little circle. Okay, so I want this one, this at the back, kind of up here, around that little piece of index card. Like so, just wrap it around and then get that Fabrifix back. I need to realize that when I'm doing a video, I don't need to put lids back on anything. Just leave lids off until you finished your video, Melina. Because then you have to fight with the lid again. Okay, I'm going to use spatula and press that down. And then I'll have that Fabrifix is stringing all over the place. That, and then that there. I likey that one. And then we're going to ink around, and then I might do some like faux stitching or lines around it with my brown pen. I like that idea. Ooh, I can't wait to use that deer. He's so pretty. He's so pretty. Okay, I'm going to do this. Glue there. Start from the bottom and work my way up to what I'm wanting shown. Okay, and then I'm going to need to ink around this one and dirty it up a little bit because it's too stark white. Like that. And put that on. Okay, and then ink around my bird. I could take the time to fussy cut a little closer in on him, but yeah, I ain't gonna take that time and do that. I think I need a little, it needs a little piece of something back behind it, and let's see about a little piece of this gold trim. That's pretty. Like all the way across, maybe? Oh yeah, I like that. So all the way across, so I need a piece yay long. Like that. It just needed a little something, something extra. So I'm going to go with my Fabrifix all the way across. And then add on a little piece of gold trim. That's not wanting to cooperate all of a sudden. There we go. And do I care if it's straight or not? Nah, I do not. Alright, and then glue on the back of the birdie. Oh yeah, he's kind of standing up a little bit off of the card. I like that. Okay, and then get gathered twigs and really dirty up the edges. And I think I'm going to go with the black pen on this one. I know that brown would match better, but I don't want it to matchy-matchy. Dirty up that index card a little bit more. I'm going to go with this pen and do some wonky lines around and just doodle doodle doodle. that is the key to all of this today. We have doodled on every piece. So include doodling in your projects, in your Scrapbusters this week. Doodle, doodle, doodle. I find myself doodling all the time. When I'm sitting in the evening watching TV with Brandon or whatever, and I've got my planner in my lap, I start doodling. Y'all, I love it. See, it just gives it a little bit of, I didn't know it even needed that. I'm going to do a little bit of extra doodling up here. Like that. And then I think maybe this one needs a little something something right here because it's a little plain right there, but I like that. I like how it looks, but let's do, well, I like that one. God is faithful, and it blends in rather well. Let's kind of gather it in with our bird. Pull it up just a little bit. Oh, I like it. I like it. Cute. Okay, there's another done. Let's do, would that be too, no, we can do a skinny one with this little deer. And look at that. Just the perfect way you are. Just like that, that's cute. So I think, let's get a little bit of lace of some kind to put back behind it after we cover this, of course. So, little piece of, oh, let's do some sari silk back behind it. Some of that Mom gave me. I like that. Do a little piece back behind it. We'll work it out somehow. Okay, let's cover this up. I like that. A little too brown though, ain't it? So let's go with a little lighter color, but I don't want it to be all too busy. So we just got to figure out what we want, huh? Now that index card is pretty. I like that. And we can add a little bit of dark something something to the back of it. That's pretty. Let's just go ahead and do that. I'm going to, this has been a folded index card in my scrap bowl for a long time. So to get to use it is just perfection to me. I love that. And what I think I'm going to do is move it over really close to the edge over here so that I can use the rest of that index card for something else if I want to. Okay, so cut off this one or this side, and it's all gluey. But of course that's why I use my sticky scissors. I don't have to worry about it. Okay, that is pretty right there. That's pretty. I think I'm going to have to trim this, and I'm going to get my Tim Holtz trimmer out. Y'all, we got more of these in. We have been waiting on these forever, and they finally got back into production, I guess. So we have the Tim Holtz guillotine trimmers back in stock. Okay, yep, that's a lot better. I got a straight edge now. I, for some reason, didn't have a straight edge. Alright. Sari silk. I like that knot that's in it right there. I would like to use that. Yeah, it'll work. It'll work. Eventually it'll work. I can even hang it off that way if I want to. Okay, so I need something a little darker to go back behind this so it shows up. Let's see, what is that? Ooh, look how pretty that is. I like that. But that's too busy for behind that. And what about that little piece of Tim Holtz wallpaper? That works. That works. Okay, let's do that. And just wherever I put it on this base will be where I put that acetate piece. So pretty. Okay, and I'm going to take out all the loose pieces from my deer and dirty it up with my gathered twigs. Pretty, pretty. And then my little sari silk, I need to go ahead and cut it. I think I'm going to leave it where it hangs off just a bit up top. So then I just need to cut it off about right there. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and get my fabric glue and get that sari silk put down all the way down. Now see, on this one I didn't really collage the background. I just used that one piece of index card. Oh, I like that. Now that's going to give you a little bit of dimension in your journal, but I'm okay with that. It's just a little bitty knot. It's going to be fine. Okay, I'm going to trim off this extra wallpaper on that side and wallpaper on that side. Oh, I'm already loving this one. And yes, it's got a lot of white on it, but I'm okay with that. It's so pretty. All those little speckles. Okay, and then do that, and it can hang off. See, these little ears going to hang off on that side, and that is going to hang off just a little bit. I tuck it up underneath that. Oh, I love it. And then we're going to doodle, doodle, doodle. Let's go ahead and ink the edges. I'm going to leave these corners very offensive. They're all straight. I'm just going to leave them like that. Okay. And then let's see, that's going to go on top of this, so I'm going to go ahead and put my deer down, and then we got to do some doodling. Okay. Have his little ear kind of poking off the edge. So see, this one would be one that you need to put on this side of the page because your stuff's hanging off on this side. See, you just work with whatever you make, you just work with it wherever you need to put it in your journal. It all works out in the end. Okay, I'm going to use some of my fabric glue to put this acetate piece down. Now, fabric glue is clear, but it will look a little, as I call it, waddy, like a wad of lint, waddy back behind it. But I'm not looking for perfection. We're perfect the way God made us, right? But yeah, I'm not looking for perfection. I'm just looking for something that's going to keep that down, and I don't have to see the glue too much. See, it's not too waddy. See, it's kind of flat and good. So I like using fabric glue for back behind my acetate pieces like that. And then for doodles, let's do just some straight little lines like that. And then let's do some pluses or crosses or whatever we want to call them up here. And then, you know, you do it and you look back, take a step back and look and say, that's a little too calculated, so let's add, you know, another one here or there or whatever. I really like that one. It's different. I like. Very cute. Okay, so there's another little clustered, collaged tuck done with some great doodling. And don't be afraid to doodle. Doodle to your heart's content. Keep on doodling. And then if you don't like the doodle for some reason, put some ink on top of it. Let me get my sprays over here. I can do a little bit of inking on this too. Take away some of that white. Let's do a little bit of this black, and I'll show you how I did that one over there. So I'm going to pull the stem, the plunger out. Whoop, I see a big old drip coming. And then I'm just going to, this is black, so I'm just going to set the stem down and kind of whirl it around until I get some ink coming out. And that's all there is to it. To getting some intentional splatters going on there. I think I will get my my green wherever it went. I thought I had another green. There it is. Rustic Wilderness. Get that green. This is the oxide, so we're going to get those pretty little crazy dots like I had on that one. And I'm just going to go over a little bit of my doodling just to give it a little extra something something. Okay, and then I will bring you back whenever this is dry and let you see how it kind of spread and got those nice little oxidation looks to them. So there's that one, and it is wet, so let's put that one up high so maybe we don't get to it. Look, I just smeared that one. Oh well, I'm good. I'm good with it. It got on top of my lid. Oh well. I really like that. Look, y'all, I'm going for the white backgrounds for whatever reason. Let's do. Okay, that'll take away a little bit of the white. Let's do that and that, and then a little bit of that. Oh, I love that squirrel. I want that squirrel in there. So let's not go too far up on that one. Keep my squirrely squirrel over there. Oh, I like that. And then we can cover up all the rest of it with whatever we want to. And let's get our glue here and cover this Project Life card up. This Project Life card that I've had for I would say probably 10 years. No joke. Probably 10 years. Okay. Lay that down. So lay your biggest one down first. That's a little easier for me. Then I'm going to give myself a little bit of a torn edge here so it can show on top of that paper. This is some of that, I think, woodland paper that we had in the shop for a while. Okay. And I want to get all the way to the bottom of my card here. And then this piece will cover over here. And then just barely a little bit of that there. Just inky ink after I get done with this. Like there. Look at there, that little bird showing. His little head popping out there. Not that his head will keep popping out, because I might cover him up with all the collaging I'm doing. I might just do it. Now, when you do these little intentional spots and splatters, you might have to heat set them, because, you know, it might take a little while. It's according to whatever you're putting it on top of. This piece here was a thicker piece of cardstock. These down here were not. These were pretty thin, and so they kind of blended in and smooshed into that really, really quickly. These sat on top for a long time, so that's why I decided just to activate them with water, because I knew the water would eventually evaporate and get rid of all of that. So I've got these little bits over here. I would like to use every one of them on this and get them taken care of. There's some more little bitty bits. And then here's a nice little, looks like it's burnt on the edges. I like that. So I think we're safe to trim off our excess. Now this card was already had rounded corners, so we'll leave that as is. Nothing really we can do about that since it's already rounded, because I sure can't make a straight edge out of a rounded edge. My hand is not that steady. So like this, and round like that. And I'm just trying my best not to cut the card base. There we go. Now that's cute. That is cute just like it is. I think I'm going to need to do some intentional spots on that white though. That's some cute stuff. Alright, let's see here. Maybe we won't use all. Because see, look. This is like a brighter one, and my little Tim Holtz stuff over here ain't going right along with it. So let's try something else. I want the little squirrely squirrel to be shown. So I'm going to put that off to the side. I'm going to do this here, yeah. And maybe that. I like that. And sorry, the bird's just going to get covered up. The little bird head going to get covered up. And then if I do this piece on here, that brings out that. I'm loving that. Those layers right there. Yep, very pretty. And then some type of little focal point of some kind to go on top of that. Maybe I had someone send me not too long ago a lot of vintage stamps, and maybe I can find one with some of these same colors. Ooh, there's a clown. Ooh, I know some that have problems with clowns, so I won't go that route on this one. Let's see. Let's find one with some color, and that will go on here. Yeah. Oh, I like that one. And just kind of cluster him up right there. And let's get us some really good lace piece, a bigger lace piece to go back behind. But we won't glue it down all the way up here. It'll be where we can pull it back if we want to. Let's see here. If I've got a big piece of something, I surely do. Let's trim. Okay, I'm going to take this border off the top. let's do this. Border off. Okay. And then let's do it a little thinner. We got a duck on this one. I like that duck. This is all wildlife on this one. Okay, see, and I'm not gonna do that down on that side. It'd be fine. So dun, dun, and then dun there, and then our little stampy stamp over here maybe somewhere. I like that. So let's make this just a tad bit shorter. Sorry, little duck. I'm gonna cut you off at the knees. And I'm just going to glue my little lacy duck. Where in the world would I have ever used that sentence? I'm going to glue my lacy duck down with Fabri-Tac or Fabri-Fix, whatever your fabric glue of choice is. And I'm going to let that hang off the edge that way. I like that look. And then that also lets me see my little squirrely squirrel that I wanted to keep visible. I'll trim that up a little bit more. We still got Ducky Duck on there too. Pretty. And then I'm going to leave that as is. I'm not going to ink it. And just start putting it all on here. So right about there. And then this piece I am going to ink just the top of it, because that's probably only going to be all that you see anyway. And put this piece on that. I want it to go over the top of that a little bit. Okay. And then this piece over here, and then our little stamp maybe right there, because I like all of that that's on that piece of paper. Yep, right down there. That way we don't cover up our little squirrel tail. Squirrel tails and duck lace. You never know what you're going to hear about on my YouTube channel. I want y'all to comment about squirrel tails and duck lace in the comments. Okay, there's that. There. And then I'm not going to ink around this. Just going to glue it on like that. And then I'm also going to tear that piece. Yeah, that's better. And then see the squirrel tail. Alright. So this one's a little unusual, but it's got a nice little cluster of stuff right there. I like that. Let's ink around the edges with our gathered twigs. And that's going to take care of a lot of the stark white on this one. And then we'll take care of a little bit more of it. I'm going to dirty up my duck. What in this world? Craziness, I tell you. Let's just use our tarnish brass and do some little intentional pops of color. Like that. And then a little bit down here. Yep, I like that. And then some little doodles. Remember, gotta doodle. And I'm just going to do some little circles on this one there, and a couple 5, 6 there. Quite a few up there. See, that just adds to it to me. I just love that. Maybe a couple there. I like that. Okay, and we'll have to wait for that to dry. Very cute. I still think there needs to be a little circle or something right there. Maybe a little die cut of some kind. Let's find some little something. Or we could just punch out. I could just throw all of my die cuts in the floor. That works too. And then I could use this little 5/8 circle punch and punch something pretty to go right there. That's a little too wild. What about, let's see what that looks like. So you can just kind of get a little focal point there and put right there. I love it. Let's ink it just barely on one edge and get our glue put on it. That goes along with that quite nicely. I like that. Good job, little punch. Okay, so I'm going to get my heat tool, and I'm going to oh my goodness, this has been a video and a half, knocking everything over. I'm going to heat set these little doodles so that I can show them to you, and then I'll give you some still shots of my collaged and clustered and doodled tucks. How about that? Okay, so there is that tarnished brass dried. Very pretty. I love it. I love splatters though. Anyway, so there would be the tuck that I would use and glue down on those two sides, and then your little frou-frou hanging off on that edge there is fine because you've got it on that side of the page. And then like this one, some of this is still not all the way dry, but you can see that green oxide. Look how it got into the sari silk right there. This one is hanging off on this side, so I would put it on that side of the page and just glue it down bottom and all down that one side, and maybe just a tad bit up here at the top, and then you got plenty of room for something to tuck in. You could also put this one in the middle of the side page like that, and just glue down there and just a tad here, glue down there and just a tad right here, and then glue down here and just a tad up here, and you have a middle of the page tuck too. All your tucks don't have to go at the bottom. You can even do tucks at the top. As long as they're tight at the top, it works too. So just a few little ideas that I had today. I love collaging and I love to cluster stuff. So I love clustered, collaged, doodled tucks. If you make any of these, please tag me in it at M's Scrapbusters, or you can just tag me, Melina Pylant, in it, and I will be able to find it that way too, as long as you don't have your privacy settings too rigid. I can find them. I will give you some still shots of these at the end. Y'all have a great day. I hope you've enjoyed the video. God bless. Bye, y'all.